Hello. A lot of the pain that we feel in life, we tend to direct towards our interactions with others, or more so that these interactions we have with other people and the relationships we build with them, our tribal reliance on them, can and will at some point hurt us. And as to have authentic connections, we must be an emotional and vulnerable entity, which includes emotions we sometimes perceive as negative. Or another angle is that in society, we feel we have to wear a mask, a persona, a need to perform, to fit in and avoid being singled out or targeted. And we feel we need to play this role of the persona to have connections with others, even if they are false connections, which they are. We still feel the need to do this to avoid the pain of loneliness. But in living authentically as this persona to garner social acceptability, you are in a way killing your soul, because the true you has been killed. And the you that other people know is a false persona. And performing as this fake self is exhausting. But again, you feel that this is the only way to avoid social pain, such as loneliness or the potential backlash or bullying that may come from standing out as an anomaly. That social anomaly being what you feel is your true self, that you would otherwise hide away and make invisible for no one else to see. And as most people try to blend in and avoid potential confrontation, if you were to exist openly as this podium of truth, your true self out in the open for the world to see, and you were to exist without fear of judgment or potential harm to your ego, you could potentially face rejection, which you think would hurt more than anything else. Because if someone attacks you or rejects you while you're presenting as the persona, then they didn't attack the real you, and so it doesn't hurt so much. In comparison, if you were to really put your soul out there and it gets attacked, then you feel like you're wrong and that you're really unwanted, and you withdraw. And this is how in places like Japan they've developed this epidemic of hikikomoris, like people who have completely dropped out of society and given up, and they never leave their homes and become reliant on their parents or some other carer. They feel as though the suffering of being a social human and the potential rejection or the anxiety of rejection isn't worth it. It isn't worth the effort of either that, being rejected, or sticking on that mask and performing for a crowd. And that's a shit way to live. It's no way to live. Going through such extremes to protect your peace that you sacrifice your soul and autonomy, that's not even real peace. Real peace is knowing that regardless of which option you choose, choosing to live in knowing that rejection and pain are always possible, but also knowing that they're necessary for living the human experience to the fullest, and choosing to put your true self out there fearlessly and to live authentically, because you could receive rejection no matter what. And so that means that your people and your tribe are also out there somewhere. You know, like how a friend to all is a friend to none. If one group rejects your authenticity, then the antithesis of that group would welcome it. But to find your people, you must be your true self, because otherwise the connections that you have are fake. Real peace would be to be happy and content alone, knowing that you're authentic, and to face potential rejection, because it can only hurt you if you let it. And you know that any relationships that you do have, or that you potentially could have, are real. And to find those relationships, to find those true connections, you must put yourself out there and be authentic. That's a real stoic mindset.